Tonight, communities across our area are mourning the loss of Pastor Quarius Green. Though the shooting happened in Level Plains, Green was widely known in Montgomery for his ministry and outreach. WSFA 12 News reporter Jessica Knox spoke with a friend remembering the man he knew.
I was very hurt. Of course, I was devastated because I was like, I couldn't believe this happened to him. And of course, then to find out how it happened and who did it, that was even more devastating. So from time to time, after I get done with there, I just go just see him and just chat it up, and then for like 5-10 minutes and go by my way because he working. I can't talk all day.
I guarantee y'all up in that whole hallelujah, singing all them old ass hymns like y'all just so religious and high-minded, but you're not. Yeah, Shane gonna tell you today. I'm gonna tell you what my friend should have told y'all. That he should have told y'all to stay the hell out of his business. Every time you turn around, y'all nitpicking and begging him about that no good woman. Somebody that's sleeping with everybody. Somebody that's probably sleeping with the niggas in the church. Want me to tell you why? Because she didn't care. Want me to tell you why? Because she was heartless. Want me to tell you why? Because she was broken from being her childhood. This lady been gapping her legs open since she was young. She ain't care about nobody.
December 23rd, 2025. A gunshot echoes through a quiet Alabama home. Children scream. A pastor lies bleeding on the floor. By December 28th, he's gone. His wife stands at the center of it all, claiming she had no choice but to pull that trigger to save her own life. This is the story of Pastor Quarius Green and Quintaria Massey Green. A marriage that looked blessed from the outside, but hid a darkness that would eventually consume them both. But before we go any further, if you're already hooked and want to see more stories like this, stories that need to be told, hit that like button right now, subscribe to She's Alive, and smash that bell icon. Seriously, if you skip this step, you might miss the next case that could change everything. These stories matter, and your support keeps them from fading into the shadows. Now let's dive in. Level Plains, Alabama. It's a small town in Dale County, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, where Sunday mornings mean church bells and afternoon barbecues, where a pastor is more than just a religious leader. He's a pillar of the community, a counselor, a friend. Quarius Green was that man. At 31 years old, he led the congregation at Elba Zion Missionary Baptist Church, and by all accounts, people loved him. He was charismatic, passionate about his faith, and seemed devoted to his calling. Friends described him as humble, as someone who talked about how much fatherhood had changed him. He had children, a wife, and what looked like a life built on faith and family values. But here's the thing about appearances. They can be deceiving. And in this case, they were hiding something ugly. Quintaria Massey Green was Quarius's wife, the woman who stood beside him, who shared his life, who gave him children. From the outside, they might have looked like the perfect pastoral couple. But behind closed doors, their relationship was unraveling in ways that most people never saw coming. Or maybe they did see it, but didn't want to believe it. Because here's what we know now, what court records and police reports later revealed. This wasn't a marriage, it was a battleground. Sometime in 2024, months before that fatal December day, Quintaria filed for a protection order against her husband. Let that sink in for a second. A pastor's wife, filing legal documents claiming she needed protection from the man who preached about love and forgiveness every Sunday. In those court filings, she described a man who was intensely jealous, deeply insecure, someone who couldn't handle even the smallest perceived threat to his control. She claimed he hurt her physically, not just once but multiple times. And here's the part that makes your stomach turn. She said he hurt her while she was pregnant, carrying their child, vulnerable. And still, according to her, he didn't stop. But those protection order documents? They were dismissed. The case never moved forward. Why? We don't know all the details, but it's a pattern we see too often in situations like this. Maybe she was pressured to drop it. Maybe she hoped things would get better. Maybe she was scared of what would happen if she pushed forward. Whatever the reason, the legal system didn't intervene. And it wasn't just the protection order. Quarius Green faced 3 separate misdemeanor charges related to domestic violence incidents in 2024. 3 times authorities were involved. 3 times there was enough evidence to bring charges. But all 3 cases were dismissed because the alleged victim, believed to be Quintaria, refused to testify. Think about that. 3 chances for the system to step in, 3 opportunities to potentially prevent what was coming, and all 3 slipped away. So what happened in those months leading up to December? What was life like in that house in the Freedom Heights neighborhood off Rucker Boulevard? We can only imagine the fear, the tension, the moments of peace that probably felt more like holding your breath than actually living. Now, I'm going to play for you the full live stream video breakdown of how their whole saga started and what really happened between them, from someone who knew them closely. Stay with me.
We gonna add the truth out. I'm gonna tell it all. He ain't here to justify and, save himself. So guess what? I'm gonna do it for him. He in a better place right now. He in a better place. Our prayers are welcome. Positive mindsets. Positive mindsets. I'm gonna add everybody out, including the church. Because the church need to be in it too. And I'm telling you, my heart was set so bad today till I started going to the church. I started to see, was they even having church service, and my friend just passed yesterday. So guess what? He ain't got to worry. I'm going to do it for him. I'm going to do it for him. So I'm going to add everything out. So please share this live. I'm going to let it be known. I'm going to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And anybody can come check me. Because get what? Shan got all receipts. Shan will never lie. One thing about me, anybody going to say, oh, she going to say it. And guess what? I've been out of it. I ain't been beefing with feuding with nobody about the situation on social media because I'm tired of people lying. So guess what? I'm going to take up for my friend. And I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. Men be in domestic violence situations too. Men being verbally abusive in situations like that too. He ain't do nothing but be good to that woman. So guess what? He ain't here to talk up for it. All the stuff he covered up and nobody ever knew. Since the church and everybody want to check up on. Ain't nobody checking up on this murder. Y'all lost y'all damn minds. I sit back and I've been hearing everybody say all the stuff. And, everybody know the Quarius was a good dude. That little man wouldn't hurt a butterfly. He wouldn't hurt a butterfly. Ugh. But I'm going to air it out. So let's let this live get up a little bit more so we can go ahead and air it out and tell the truth. Guess what? Justice for DQ, y'all. Justice for the Quarius. Because he didn't deserve what that woman did to him. And it was all premeditated. And it all added up. And guess what? People can run around saying whatever they want. But at the end of the day, if you don't know the truth, if you wasn't there, guess what? It's nothing you can say. It's nothing you can say. But guess what? She did it in front of his kids. She did it in front of his daughter. And she was wrong. All he did was love her and them piss-ass boys she got. He took up for them when they daddies ran out and they wanted nothing to do with them. Guess what? She ain't gonna tell it today. Yeah, I'm live. And I had to work. I had to work. And I worked myself through it because I'm heartbroken and I'm hurt. I'm so hurt. But please share this live because I'm gonna tell the whole truth. The whole truth about this person. Everybody thinks such a good person. I don't care about her sister and them on Facebook feuding. Everybody know I don't feud with nobody. I'm not finna feud with you. I'm not finna give you the energy. I'm not finna give you the oxygen. And when I'm on here, I ain't on here to do none of that with nobody. So whoever got something to say, don't go say it to me, say it to your mammies. Because guess what? I'm gonna tell my friend the truth. The stuff that he couldn't tell, the stuff that he didn't say, even when people slander his name, talking about he had domestic violence and all type of stuff. Guess what? None of that was true. He ain't never fight or tell nobody none of that. None of that. Look, he ain't never said none of that. He kept it all to himself because he was a praying man. He was a real praying man. A real anointed one from God. Even though he was hurt to his core, he loved his job. She took everything and still was ungrateful. Nothing she done can get to him because guess what? He still prevailed. He still stood on top. He still made his way. He still stood tall until she took his life. That's the only thing made it happen. But I'm going to tell the whole story. I'm going to tell y'all who the person is. People running around here trying to justify their actions. No, it wasn't DV. No, he never put his hands on her. He loved his wife. I don't care what nobody say. He never touched his wife. He never put his hands on her. She can go around PTSD, bipolar depression, all that stuff. I got a son that ADHD, bipolar, and schizophrenic. So guess what? They know exactly what they doing. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how nobody feel. I don't care how mama and them feel or nothing, but it's always premeditated. And I'm going to tell the truth today. So let me get a couple of more viewers because my friend's voice need to be heard. And guess what? It's going to come from me and I'm so hurt. God knows I'm hurt. My spirit hurt. My soul hurt because he did not deserve it. The only thing he was guilty of was loving somebody who didn't love him. That's the only thing he was guilty of. Other than that, that man was a good man. She didn't even get my friend that for Father's Day. Now, we're going to go and run it. When I get to 170, we're going to go ahead and run it. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I'm going to start with the very first beginning of how they met all the way down. And I'm going to show y'all just how low down this woman was. I'm going to show y'all just how much she hurt my friend to his core. And all he ever did was pray for her. She didn't care about him. She didn't love him. The only thing she wanted to do was be in the limelight, in the publicity. Okay, we're going to start it like this. Guess what? When they first met, she was all in his DM. Begging and just beg and plead him, let me take you on a date, let me do this, let me do that, and all type. I see what it is, all type of stuff. She never meant him no good. When they started talking, he was happy. He felt like he found somebody. He felt like, he was falling in love all over again. He felt like she was his everything. Even though she had kids, he only had one. He accepted them just like he accepted himself. Look, it's funny because it's sad because you can't change a person and make them to who you want them to be. You can only accept them for their truth. Now, they separated. And what people don't even understand was, during the time she found out she was pregnant, my friend wasn't even with her. He wasn't even with her. He didn't have a clue if the baby was hers or not. And I'm going to tell you why. Want me to tell you why? Because she slept with everybody. She slept with everybody. And I'm going to even call them out. I'm going to hurt everybody. The way I feel, I'm going to tell my friend's story. This need to be in the book. This need to be in the book. Be careful who you choose to love, because the way you love people, when they show you their true colors, get to running like forests. Matrix them. Matrix them. A person can only show you their true character for so long. For so long. And guess what? Everything she ever did to him was nothing but hurt. And all he did was love her. Even when she lied to make him lose his job, everybody at the job, he hit his wife, or the pastor ain't never put his hands on that lady. Look, and I'm trying to keep it nice because I know he got a lot of spiritual friends, a lot of church buddies, and people that are religious. But my friend lived righteous, and all he did was love his wife. So let's start by this. Okay, from the time they met, she went nothing but trouble from the beginning. She went nothing but trouble from the beginning. He separated from her. He separated from her because all she did was sleep with multiple people. Had him all at little kids' basketball games. For the people that know her, they know she had this little boy staying with her. For all I know, she could have been sleeping with him 9 times out of 10. She was, because she was walking around the house with a robe and gowns on. No, make it so bad. She had towels on when she get out the tub. Take the towel off in front of the little boy. The little boy told the Quarius everything. Guess what? Shan was on the phone and hid. Shan was on the phone and hid. He sure did. She had the neighbor's shoes in the house because she was sleeping with the neighbor next door. Nobody know why she got 2 mortgages. I'm going to tell you why she got 2 mortgages, because she couldn't stay where she was staying because she was sleeping with the damn neighbor. Yeah, she was sleeping with the neighbor. On top of the neighbor's shoes on the floor. Look, the Quarius seen the shoes. She told him that the shoes was the little boy shoes. The shoes were the little boy shoes, all at the game, all at the... I know we all not, but it's still respect, so I'm just going to keep it cordial and keep it mannerable, because there's some elderlies on there too. But I'm going to tell the truth. I ain't the little TikTok man and then like that, but I'm going to tell his whole story. So guess what? Okay, during the time she found out she was pregnant, my friend went with her. He went with her. So he was like, I don't know. He was kind of skeptical because she was pregnant so quick. So it was about 3 months in. She called out the blue after they were separated for about 3 months and told him that she was pregnant. She did think the baby was somebody else's. Yes, she did. She did. But then she was telling him, like, no, because the timeline don't add up, it's yours. He left her on behalf of her cheating because he caught her cheating. On top of her cheating, during her pregnancy, I'm going to tell y'all, the only bruise she had was on her cat, and that was herpes. That was herpes. She told my friend he gave her herpes. He said, I ain't never had an outbreak. I told him, don't let her do that to you. I said, go get tested. Go get checked. Guess what? He got checked. She was at the doctor's office, and guess what? They told her she had it. She had herpes, and he didn't. Meaning, where you got herpes from? She had it since she was young. She been busting her cat open, and she struggled from childhood traumas. That ain't no PTSD. Ain't nothing wrong with that lady. She wasn't even in the military long enough for to have no PTSD. She can claim that all she want. All y'all can run around here talking about domestics. Guess what? She didn't tell you she got about 4 or 5 other domestic violence cases that she done put on me and everybody she slept with. She just about said, but guess what? My friend died. My friend ain't have a record. All his stuff got thrown out because she lied. None of it was true. He let God fight his battles. He didn't even try to fight himself. He gave it to the hands of the Lord. He did. As much, I was angry. I was mad because I know how much his job and everything meant to him. When you dedicate yourself on a career, and you've been working this place all your life and all you want to do is elevate, take care of yourself and your children, and somebody take that away, that hurts. And guess what she did? Kept calling the home office, talking about people people at the job doing it, let's just say that. But no, it was her. I said, don't be green all your life. Your land ain't green, but don't be green. I'm going to leave it to the Lord. God got it. On top of that, okay, he found himself a barber, was taking him and her kids, because he only had one. His little boy wasn't even old enough to get his haircut yet, to the barber. So he's sitting at the barber. She come in and bring the children through the barber. Okay, now he made this his original barber. So he going to get his haircut. Look, she didn't know he was at the barbershop. The barbershop phone rang and landed on the counter. He looked over. It's a nigga picture of this man's wife. A nigga picture of his wife. on the barber phone. So that means now you snatching the barber. And the barber was like, oh, well, yeah, man, you know, she came on to me. You know, you can't be mad at me. You need to be mad at her. All type of stuff like that. She ain't telling y'all that part. She ain't telling nobody none of that. She ain't telling nobody how she tried to accuse him of having herpes. She ain't telling nobody how she took him to them games and she was sleeping with every man up in there, all the coaches and stuff, and that's why she was playing under the little boy. She ain't telling nobody how she was a pedophile on the low, getting in front of that little boy naked, acting like, she normal. No, she wasn't normal. No, she wasn't normal. She got mental issues. She craved attention. She ain't telling nobody how jealous she was. She didn't even want his family or nobody to be on the phone when she was around. She ain't telling nobody how she was a control freak. I call her wild hair ass Angelica. You know, Angelica off the Rugrats, that's how she was. Have a temper tantrum and shit don't go your way. When you get grown, everything don't work the way you want it to. Everything do not work the way you want it to. He loved her dirty drawers. He loved the ground she walked on. He did everything he can for her. It's a long list of people that she done slept with. Guess what? The church. She ain't telling nobody how they went to eat they went on the dinner date. She seen one of her old military buddies, a female. She ain't telling nobody how the lady was grabbed her crotch from the back in front of my friend. And he asked her, like, hey, what's she doing? She said, oh, we just military, but it's just not, no, it was somebody you was sleeping with too. Every time she had somebody else, she dogged my friend out. Every time he slept with somebody else, he let that old wicked ass church convince him to go back. Talking about work on your marriage. Because they go by the Old Testament. They want to sweep everything under the rug, them old country folks. That's what they do. Then they want to have the nerve to ask his mama, have you checked on her? This bitch that just killed this lady's son. What she look like checking on her? Elba. I got a lot to say about Elba. Them antique folks. Yeah. How they mistreated my friend. How every time they had a pastor meeting, one of their little meetings, they little huddles, it was always something not right because y'all don't want to elevate the church. Y'all want to stay in that stagnant ass energy. I'm so angry right now, y'all. I can go on and on and on and on. Let's get up to when she killed my friend. Let's fast forward because it's so much go on. And so y'all, my friend needs justice. He put up with mental abuse. She used to get angry if they somewhere and people show him attention and don't, just wave at her cordially. For the people that gave her attention. And everybody know my friend block game was strong. His block game was strong. So this last time, she had to reach out through him, through them milk-bad church folks. Don't never let nobody tell y'all how to run y'all business. You the one got to deal with it. They on the outside looking in. They don't know what the hell going on. But guess what? Nobody ever knew this lady was the biggest hoe you could ever have. Gap her legs open to everybody. Like I said, and I'm going to keep saying, the only bruise she had was the herpes on her cat. That's the only bruise she had. Guess what? My friend and her ain't even sleep in the same room. Want me to tell you why? Because he didn't want to sleep with her because she was nasty. Because she was nasty. The only reason he was down was because of that little boy. Nobody knew that this lady, guess what? The first two, she treated them like something. When it came to him, she mistreated that little boy that he had by her. He told me how she shut him out, had him out there in the hallway hollering, and she laid up in bed with the other two. But this your baby. Usually a person had a nurturing feeling for the young child. That's the only reason he kept going back, because she was mistreating the little boy. Anybody know, my friend know that he loved his kids. His baby said that she saved him. He saved her. He saved her. She watched somebody shoot her daddy and shut the door with a blank stare. Let me tell you why, because it was premeditated from the beginning. You stayed in the house for almost a year. You ain't never talked to your neighbors. Never said nothing to these folks. 2 months ago, I told her during my birthday time, you want to start back trying to reach out to him. You want to got doggone get the church folks. It's always the church folks for me. I get some churches mean well, but El Bazan, I'ma tell y'all. Y'all ain't worth two flips. Y'all sweep everything under the rug, act like ain't nothing going on, act like don't that happen, don't want to elevate. Y'all want to stay in the stagnant energy. And guess what? People know y'all got y'all old pastor picture behind y'all, but guess what? Y'all had a new one. I guarantee y'all up in the whole hallelujah, singing all them old ass hymns, like y'all just so religious and high mighty, but you're not. Yeah, Shane gonna tell you today. I'm gonna tell you what my friend should have told y'all. That he should have told y'all to stay the hell out of his business. Every time you turn around, y'all nitpicking and begging him about that no good woman. Somebody that's sleeping with everybody. Somebody that's probably sleeping with the niggas in the church. Want me to tell you why? Because she didn't care. Want me to tell you why? Because she was heartless. Want me to tell you why? Because she was broken from being her childhood. This lady been gapping her legs open since she was young. She ain't care about nobody. The first child daddy gave up his rights. Ain't want nothing to do with her. Signed the papers because he said she was crazy. Scared she gonna do something to him. The second child daddy, in the military, ain't had but 3 years to go, was giving her $2,600. She was living all high mighty. Like she just bawling. Went by the little boy, nothing. Go on the Facebook page. Look at the shoes. The shoes them children had my friend bought. My friend bought. They can say she a good mother. Or all that. Y'all don't know how she talk to them children when y'all ain't around. But guess what Shan do? Because Shan was on the phone. Shan, listen. Shan, listen. When she went out that home, my friend was at home with her boys. And his. Yeah. When she didn't come home into the middle of the night, out there drunk. Out there with different niggas coming home smell like ooh-wee. My friend was there with her boys. When them children were pissing the bed out, because they big kids. They still piss. They still piss. You ain't even got time to teach your children how to use the bathroom. When they was at home pissing the bed out, my friend was there changing the sheets. When they said they were hungry, my friend was there cooking them shit to eat. You know, it's funny because everybody can say what they want to say. They can try to justify it the way they want. When she lied and told everybody or went to the police, I'm going to tell y'all how that went because it was such a lie. My friend never hit him. He never hit him. He never hit him. She didn't tell y'all how she gave her gay friend all. Everybody know the Quarius love luxury. Everybody know my friend ain't had nothing but labels and name brand clothes. You know, he took care of himself too because he loved the person that God made him to be. My friend went from walking to a job for years. Went from getting him a little car, a Jeep that broke down in the woods when he went to get his girlfriend one time, to having nothing, to getting him a little putt-putt, to driving him a Benz. Work hard for everything. Ain't nobody give him nothing. He worked for it. He was determined to be something. He was determined to make people smile. He was determined to pray over people that couldn't pray for themselves. He was determined to deliver God a word to somebody. But guess what? People never pray or never press the share button on a sermon. But guess what? Y'all gonna press on some bullshit, though. Y'all gonna press when somebody say something negative, though. Guess what? When she said to DV, y'all heard, oh, he beat his wife. Guess what? He didn't do that. Want me to tell you why? I was on the phone. Want me to tell y'all who told him to call the police? I did. Want me to tell y'all who's mad because he lost his job because he did the right thing? I was. Even though he sat there and prayed and he was like, God gonna take care of me. It's gonna be okay. Everything gonna be all right. Guess what? I was mad. I fought it myself because my friend lost his job because I told him, don't go down there to that crazy woman. I said, call the police because she can do something to you. I told him that. I did. And guess what? When he got there, she already ran the story to him. He even left and they told him to come back and they put my friend in jail. He never was prosecuted for it because she lied. She lied. He never argued with people saying that he whooped on his wife. He never did none of that. He took everything everybody had, and I was the one angry. I fought it myself. I was mad because I told him to call the police thinking that the justice system was going to prevail in his favor. That lady was down there burning my friend's clothes up. She gave all his Gucci bags, his Louis bags, all his name brand to her gay friend. And guess what? He still stood by her. Even after that, he left her for a minute. But the church, pray for your wife. Make your relationship right, Pastor. I better this, I better that. Fuck y'all. What was y'all when he was going through this mental abuse? Guess what? He never slandered her. He never told nobody nothing negative about her. He ain't never tell nobody about the herpes. He ain't never tell nobody how she was cheating. He ain't never tell nobody none of that. Because he loved her. He loved her. But guess what? She ain't love him. She ain't love him. And this whole situation was premeditated. I'm going to tell y'all how I know. Because Shan was there. Shan know. And I'm so hurt because I got receipts. I can show y'all the text messages. And I was asking him not to go back at first. I said, you doing good. You finally elevating. You finally starting to live life again. This lady was like a leech, like a succulent. Every time you turn around, you just try to take a piece of him. He ain't want nothing but for her to love him, for her to do right by him.
This story forces us to look at something uncomfortable. It makes us ask, how many warning signs do we ignore? How many dismissed court cases, how many dropped charges, how many cries for help go unheard before tragedy becomes inevitable? And when someone finally fights back, when they say enough is enough, where do we draw the line between victim and perpetrator? I want you to think about that. Really sit with it. If you were in a situation where you felt trapped, where every day felt dangerous, where the person who was supposed to love you became the person you feared most, what would you do? How far would you go to protect yourself? And here's the harder question. If you were on the outside looking in, watching someone you knew going through this, would you intervene? Would you push them to get help even when they pushed back? Or would you respect their choices and hope for the best? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because I genuinely want to hear what you think about this. There's no right or wrong answer here, just honest conversation about something that happens way too often in our communities. And if this story affected you, if it made you think differently about what goes on behind closed doors, share this video. Send it to someone who needs to hear it. Help spread awareness, because that's how we start changing things. And listen, if you made it this far, you're clearly invested in stories that matter. Stories that dig deep into the human experience and don't shy away from the tough stuff. So do me a favor. Subscribe to She's Alive if you haven't already. Click that bell so you never miss when we drop a new case. We've got so many more stories to cover, stories that need your attention, your voice, your support. Check out our other videos, keep the conversation going, and remember that every view, every comment, every share helps bring these cases into the light where they belong. Thank you for being here. Thank you for caring. And I'll see you in the next one.